Good morning, viewers. Welcome to ST Money's Morning News, your weekday business news channel. It's Monday morning, October 14, 2024, and I'm your host, Sunil Thakker of Sunny Talks Money. Let's roll. Wall Street kicked off the earnings season with stocks hitting all-time highs as big banks rallied after posting solid results. The S&P 500 topped 5,800, notching its 45th record in 2024. Both the S&P 500 and the Dow scored record closing highs on Friday, with the big boost from financial stocks after banks reported strong quarterly results, while the latest inflation data fueled expectation for a U.S. Federal Reserve rate cut in November. Equity traders were worried that the start of Federal Reserve rate cuts would sap bank profits, but they saw otherwise. JP Morgan Chase and Company churned out a surprise increase in net interest income. JP Morgan Chase finished the session up 4.4% after the lender reported higher than expected third quarter profit and raised its annual interest income forecast. At Wells Fargo and Company, NII slumped, but the firm expects that drop to be less steep in the last quarter. Shares in Wells Fargo rallied 5.6% after its profit also beat analysts' expectations. Meanwhile, investment heavyweight BlackRock said its assets have grown to a record $11.5 trillion. BlackRock stock gained 3.6% after the asset manager reported that its assets under management had hit a record high for the third straight quarter. The bank's reports show that the U.S. consumers remain resilient. The S&P 500 financial sector rose 2% to hit a new closing high, and the KBW Nasdaq Bank Index logged its largest one-day percentage gain since the end of last year. Earlier in the day, data from the U.S. Department of Labor showed the Producer Price Index (PPI) for final demand was unchanged on a monthly basis in September compared to the 0.1% rise expected by economists polled by Reuters. Friday's PPI data follows Thursday's Consumer Price Index reading, which was slightly higher than forecast, although weekly jobless claims rose more than expected. For the day, the Dow Jones Industrial Average rose 409 points, or 0.97% to 42,863. The S&P 500 gained 34 points, or 0.61% to 5,815, and the Nasdaq Composite gained 60 points, or 0.33% to 18,342. For the week, the S&P 500 added 1.1%, while the Dow climbed 1.2%, and the Nasdaq added 1.1%, with all three notching their fifth weekly gain in a row. In Friday's market action, Tesla's stock slumped almost 9% after the EV maker unveiled its long-awaited robotaxi, but did not provide details on how fast it could ramp up production or deal with potential regulatory hurdles. However, shares climbed in Uber and Lyft, which have had their own autonomous driving projects. Global stocks were mixed. Chinese shares fell as investors awaited a Saturday Ministry of Finance briefing, which they hope will bring more stimulus measures. The stock Europe 600 and Japan's Nikkei 225 both rose about 0.6%. Treasury yields crept higher, with the 10-year yield settling at 4.072%. Spot gold rose 1% to $2,656 an ounce. At present, the benchmark oil contracts trade lower. Brent crude is at $77.96 a barrel, and WTI crude is at $74.56 a barrel. That's it for today, folks. See you tomorrow morning. In the meantime, let us know in the comments section what are your thoughts for the market. Happy investing, stay inspired, and remember, it's all about money.